Hi everyone, my name is Michael from the Exchange, Precious Metals Company that offers wholesale pricing for our gold, pure gold and pure silver in Singapore. We are fully authorized, licensed precious metals company registered with the Ministry of Laws of Singapore. Our blessed Sunday here from Singapore, I'm Michael, and today I'm so excited and so elated to discover something new because my wife, about 2 days ago, sent me a video clip of one pastor, Singaporean pastors, who is now pastoring in Thailand called Pastor Chi. And when I listened to his sermon recently, one of these sermons that he preached about the end time preparations for financially, and he mentioned about gold and silver and about certain things that God would turn around situations and circumstances in these end times, and how we Christians need to position ourselves and prepare ourselves for the biggest financial crash. He mentioned especially the high inflations, hyperinflations, and that gold and silver price will skyrocket and will never come back anymore. It will be soon happening, maybe next year or so. Both of us, we do share a lot of things in common. We receive visions, we receive words from the Lord separately, although we do not know each other at all. And when I listened to it, I felt so comforted because all the while I thought I'm the only one to receive this revelation and visions. And it's not easy for me to be a financial evangelist, so called, to share people about what God told me about gold and silver. They think that probably I have an ulterior motive of promoting my business using the name of God. So please listen to this edited clips that I downloaded and to this video. And so listen all from the beginning to the end and commit them to the Lord and ask the Lord how you should position yourself and prepare now for your future and be a blessing to this last generation. This kingdom comes and its will be done. Again, it's Mike from Singapore. Have a blessed day. God bless you. Bye.
Psalms 50:10 says, "For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills belong to me," the Lord said. So two key issues about the debt-based system in the world. They're subject to manipulation. Number one, money is no longer backed by gold. Number two, the fractional banking system. I just want to mention them. I won't have time to explain them. Please go to the sermons and listen to them. Now, as of one and a half years ago, gold is now recognized under Basel III, the Bank of International Settlements, as a level 1 asset. What does it mean? US currency is a level 1 asset. Gold is now recognized as a level 1 asset, meaning it is bona fide, genuine money. And actually, it doesn't need the BIS to recognize that. Gold and silver has been money for 5,000 years. You know, in Chinese, we call banks 银行. 银行 means a silver storage place. Amen? Let me know Chinese. Let me know Chinese, wave your hand. Praise God. Let me know Chinese, Mandarin. Okay, 银行. That's how we got the word. You put your silver into that storage house. They give you a certificate saying that you own so much silver. And you can use a certificate, say, to buy land. You can give the certificate, instead of lugging all the silver to the person's house, you give a certificate. The certificate allows a person to go to the warehouse and get the required silver from the warehouse. So that's how it should start. So every certificate or money is backed by physical silver or gold. Okay? But if you study history, all this has been diluted. And so therefore, very soon they keep printing money. And when they do that, like the Roman Empire, they will collapse. And right now, we are into an unprecedented territory in the world. Every country is printing money like there's no tomorrow. They're just printing from thin air and give to the people. So what will happen is inflation will set in, for sure. Many people were debating about what will happen. We said last year that inflation will happen. And inflation is now here. Those of you living in Singapore, you know inflation has hit you already. Those living in Thailand, Bangkok, not so much. Because Thailand is a food-producing country. So we are not so much subject to that. But Singapore, you don't produce your food, and therefore you can see it reflected in the supermarket prices. I think Malaysia too is being affected, even though Malaysia produces some food as well. Okay, so these are some background things that I want to say we need to look at. Okay, one slide that I need you to highlight is the time to shift your assets led by the Holy Spirit. From loanership assets to ownership assets, from ownership assets to stewardship assets, from stewardship assets to kingdom assets. And because I want to highlight this because many of you ask me a question about, Pastor, is money in the bank, ownership, loanership, is investments, ownership, loanership, is insurance company, loanership, ownership, and all that. So now, just an overall summary here, then I can answer all the questions for you. What are loanership assets? They are basically debt instruments, like government bonds, loan stocks of companies. They want to raise money from the public, then they issue debt instruments. So you get a coupon rate. So if you put $1,000 there, you get 5% every year. So you're actually loaning money to them, okay? And then you get your interest. At the end of the day, you get back your principal, right? That's provided the company is still there. If the company collapses, then sorry, you get a deep haircut. You won't recover all of it. So that's loanership. You loan money. It's subject to whether the company does well or not. So all instruments, all debt instruments are loanership assets. How about stocks? Stocks are ownership. In a sense, you buy a stock of a company, you own a part of the company, okay? But in terms of if the company collapses, you're not the first one to get paid back. The one who gets paid back are the ones who loan money directly to the company. But as a stock owner, you get to participate in the growth of the company, of course. That's subjected to whether the company will grow or collapse. Okay, so this is generally, so my question to people is, begin to shift loanership asset to ownership asset. How about silver and gold? Is it loanership asset? If you own physical gold and silver, those are ownership. They are there. To me, you don't have to care what is the price listed in the market on gold and silver. If you understand gold and silver, which I've been tracking for more than 20 years right now, the paper price and the real price actually is quite different. Like recently, I'll give you an example. For silver an ounce, the paper price could be $27 US an ounce. But you want to buy 1 ounce of silver, say the Canadian Maples or the American Eagles or whatever, you can't pay 27 at a spot price. That's a paper price. You have to pay something like $34, $35, sometimes even $38 for that 1 ounce of silver. So there's a departure between the paper price and the real price. Paper price can be manipulated, but the real price of real asset in the days to come will be very important for every one of us. So these are ownership assets. So if all that you own are loanership asset, and if there's a collapse in the stock market, collapse in companies, a world's economy, then you might not get your money back. So my whole take of this is that you should begin to shift loanership to ownership, okay? And having done that, ownership to stewardship. Don't own your thing until those things own you. You are a steward. Use it for the kingdom. Okay, like Barnabas did. He shifted his land as a stewardship asset. He sold it, gave it to the church as a kingdom asset. As the Lord leads you. And there's something more important than money. You know, money is really not the most important thing. I know for many people, yeah, give me some, you know. We need to use money, and God has principles to guide us how to invest, how to grow our monies, and how to know to position ourselves, especially in the end times. Okay, good. With some of this, okay, one more. The black horse of famine and inflation. I said this last year, the black horse will be manifested from next year onwards. price of essential goods will go up. So that's what I said last year. And it is happening. Okay, so take note of that. But I tell you, the price increase is not over yet. It will go further up. That's where in Revelation 6:5, a pair of balances in his hand, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. In the next slide. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Okay, so let's take note of that. Remember, but there was a time in America where you can't own your gold. Gold, you got to surrender it. And the government literally bought up all the gold at that time. So why would they do that if it's not precious? Now, why would central banks keep buying gold? Like this year, I was told that the Thai Central Bank bought quite a lot of gold. And it was like a new record. I congratulate them. Well done, Thai government, buy more gold. Because it's a level 1 asset. And I can tell you, that has been money for the last 5,000 years. However, I want to say this to you. With more and more restrictions on how you can move monies, you have to start thinking, do you want to leave everything there? Or would you want to begin to position? That is why this is a year of positioning. You need to position yourself not only spiritually, but also financially as well. It is time to do that. In fact, I sense that as I say this right now, please look into all your financial assets and let the Lord lead you in positioning them now. There are many people who talk about a collapse in the markets. And we always need to ask ourselves, is there a huge collapse happening, say next month, are you okay? You need to answer that question yourself. Okay. So that is ownership. No doubt there's market risk and banks. Okay, that's fine. I think I answered this question. In relationship to this, somebody asked me about insurance money. You know, when you buy an insurance policy, and especially with cash values, say an endowment policy or the investment-linked policy, you don't just buy for the sake of the insurance. You put money like a savings, right? So there's money in them, and for some policies, after some years you put money, it can become self-paying, right? And that's not a bad idea. So, is that low ownership asset? Yes. Because it's subject to the insurance company. If the insurance company is hit with losses, okay, then your dividends or the bonuses they declare on your policy would be reduced. What if a calamity hits them? So you must ask yourself this question. And secondly, I'm not against insurance. I think insurance is a good idea. But don't overly depend on them, because it all depends whether the insurer is still around, you know, finally. And also, towards the end times, we must ask ourselves this important question. Do you want to keep your huge endowment policies? Because when high inflation hits, the returns on any endowment policies will not be able to match up. In general, okay, don't take this as financial advice. It is not financial advice. It is just my sharing of my perspective of the whole financial field. Okay, so it's not financial advice. Thank you. Okay, gold and silver. On gold and silver and coming out of Babylonian system. So this person says, so take out money and put it in the insurance policies, investment plans. What does it mean to come out? How much to buy gold, silver, and from where? Okay, good question. I've actually tracked gold and silver for more than 20 years now. And looking at dealers, looking at mints, and what they do. And I'm looking at the premiums, what happened to the premiums in different crisis times. And when you see that the premiums are increasing, what is a premium? Meaning if the spot price, say the spot price of gold is $1,800 right now, US dollars, But when you want to buy a real ounce of real gold, how much are you going to pay? You want to buy a coin, say a gold eagle from America. You don't pay $1,800. You're probably going to pay $2,000 US at least. So the premium is $200 US. And if they see the premiums increasing, what you're seeing is a departure from the paper market with the real gold, physical gold market. And you know there's an increasing problem. So in a huge crisis, I've seen it before a few times, the premiums can go very high. So it tells you it's a crisis time. But there comes a time, I believe, that this departure will be so significant it will never come back. It means it will never be close. The paper price and the actual real physical price would depart totally because the paper price is not real. Paper price can be subjected to manipulation. It means I can buy and sell contracts of gold and silver and no real physical gold silver transacted. Okay, so it's paper, not real. The real thing comes when you have to deliver. And there are many issues there on delivery right now. You see, silver at this moment, as a general statement, I can do one whole session on silver alone. Silver, I'm a first electrical electronics engineer before. Silver is being used in anything that conducts electricity. It's the best conductor in the world. So therefore, all your solar panels, all your electric vehicles, anything electric, they're using silver. And once it is used, they don't recover the silver. So in terms of above ground silver in the world, it's probably less than gold. So the potential for shortage is right there. And if more people realize that silver is also money, it's a cheaper form of money compared to gold, then I would say there is a huge, huge potential right there. Okay, so where can you buy them? There are different dealers in Asia. I used to buy for my friends from America. In Asia, you can. In Thailand, you can buy gold and silver too. You can even buy foreign manufactured gold bars, 10 grams, 100 grams. For silver, you can even produce them. Yeah. For some people, I produce them, basically, ourselves for our own storage, for close friends. We can produce our own silver. So I just want to mention that. So take out money and put in insurance policies, investment plans. What does it mean to come out? How much to buy gold, silver from, and from where? Okay, I think I answered the question. Don't take out money and put in insurance policy. Ask yourself, why do you need an insurance policy? If you're already retired, then who is depending on you, right? If nobody is depending on you, why buy another insurance policy? And again, I'm not against insurance. When you're a young person, everyone depends on you. You're the main breadwinner. Then to exercise your responsibility in stewardship, you need to protect yourself. Just in case something happens to you, your family is okay. But when you have enough for them, you might not need an insurance policy right now. When I'm younger, I've got insurance policies, but right now I don't need insurance policies. Except for, health insurance, those eventualities. But other things, my children have all grown up, so they are independent. So at different stages, you have to ask yourself, why do you need to do this? Okay, good. Next question, one world currency. Will the one world currency be launched at the end of 2021? Somebody quoted another Professor Brian Hayes. 2021, will the one world currency be launched at the end of 2021? Possibly. My question is possibly. So then you must ask, what is the impact on everybody, So that's the more important question. But if you are not part of the system anymore, or increasingly coming out of the system, then it does not really matter. But the wisdom of the day is, you must begin to come out of the system now. You may not come out of it totally, because you still need some transactions to be done in the system, but you can begin to come out of it right now.